always say, people are going to do exactly what they want to do no matter what. So if you're here to learn how to get a subcontractor to agree to a net 30, I need you to stop asking for permission and start negotiating like you have a position. Hey, it's ConConnects here, and I am so excited about today's video. This is one of the most sought out questions that I always get about the whole federal concierge space, what happened after you win. And so I decided to do a video because, you know what? I haven't seen any videos on this that I've seen. In this video, I'm going to break down how I explain the net 30 terms to a subcontractor, what I say, how I go about doing it, and how I make them feel comfortable enough to agree to a net 30 and put their trust in me that they're going to get paid. Okay, so let's jump into it. So let's explain what a net 30 is. So what a net 30 is when the government pays you in 30 days after you've submitted an invoice. So work has been completed, you submit the invoice, and then the government has up to 30 days to actually pay you. Now, does it take 30 days to pay you? Not always, but it could. Okay, so that's the standard that you look for. So that's what a net 30 is for those who didn't understand that. Now, how do we get our sub to agree to that net 30? And when do we introduce that net 30 to the subcontractor? So first and foremost, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Sometimes you guys be asking for information that you don't even need right now. If you haven't won a contract, you don't even need to be worrying about this. But I get it. You want to learn early so you feel comfortable. You know, you just want to know. I get it. Believe me, I am the no spirit. But if you have not won a contract, you don't even need to be worrying about a net 30. You should not even be bringing it up to your subcontractor unless they ask for it, okay? That's the only time you should be bringing up a net 30 to a subcontractor is if they ask or after you have won the contract so that you can then discuss how payment terms are going to work. So do not bring up net 30 to a subcontractor until you have won a contract, and then you can go ahead and explain it how it works to the subcontractor. Because now you have all of the power because you have the contract, and then you can tell them how payment terms are going to be distributed. Now, some of you guys may feel like nervous to talk about net 30s. Is my sub going to wait that long to get money? Are they going to agree to it? Well, let me explain something to you. So once again, and you may have heard me say this in multiple videos, when you're working with the federal government, when you're working with subcontractors and businesses, you are a B2B. Okay, go look up B2B right now. B2B, which is business to business. So when businesses work with other businesses, guess what? Net 30, net 15, net 20, 25, 50, 60, whatever, that's normal. That's normal. So you have to stop thinking like you're a consumer, like you know, going to Best Buy and you're going to purchase something. You got to pay right then and there. You got to stop thinking like a consumer and start thinking like a business. B2B, business to business, works in net 30s. So your sub more than likely have other companies, other clients who deal with these payment terms. The only difference is you're coming to them, telling them this is how you're going to pay them. And because your sub don't know who you are, you didn't call them out the blue and so happen to win a contract with their quote, they don't know you. So they're like, okay, well, how do I know you really gonna pay me? That's like somebody coming up off the street and be like, hey, give me $50. I'll give it back to you in a week. Like, I don't know you. Who is you? I don't know who you are. So you got to remember, there's a relationship to be developed, a relationship to be built. And if you watched my last video about how to build rapport with a subcontractor when you get in a quote, that's where that relationship comes in. That's where that trust comes in, like you're already building that trust. So when you win the contract and you get to the payment terms, they already trust you. They're like, yeah, I know she gonna pay me. I ain't even tripping, right? So, but if you are nervous to ask for a net 30, it's common because, yeah, like you did the work. I'm some random person. We got a contract together. How you know I'm going to pay you? So I get the hesitation on your part and their part. But if you explain it the right way, there is no problem. Okay, so let's get into how you explain a net 30 to a subcontractor. So the easiest way to have a subcontractor, so to say, believe that, you know, you're legit, that you're going to pay them, that they're working on a net 30, is to show them the contract from the government. Now, what I do is I omit my information from the contract, only have their information, have the signature of the contract signed, and then I send it to the subcontractor so that they can see, hey, we actually won an award. We actually have a contract. It's been signed by a federal official, okay? And this is a real thing. So when you do that, one, it kind of establishes your authority. Like, oh, okay, this is actually real. So, you know, we really working with something right here. I see it here. I see the money here. Okay, we good. Yeah, we good. So you can do that is one way. The second way is to basically just explain to them, how does it work? So what I say when I win a contract and I'm talking to my subcontractor after I let him know or her know that we've actually won, is I say, okay, so this is how it works. I'm going to send you over to service agreement. In a service agreement, it's going to tell you exactly what you're going to do. It's going to give you your payment terms, which is a net 30. And then usually I ask them, hey, do you know what a net 30 is? And they're usually like, yeah, I know what it is. Or if they don't, then I'll explain to them what it is. And basically what I'll say is, well, how it works is when you finish your work, you invoice me. When you invoice me, I will invoice the government. I'll invoice the government. The government has 30 days to pay that invoice. And then because in my experience, I always let them know it rarely takes 30 days. And if you know, you know. Okay, but it rarely takes 30 days. I let them know that to kind of assure them like, okay, well, they won't be waiting 30 days for a payment, but it could take up to 30 days, right? And then I explain to them, once I get paid, then I'm going to send you your payment. And usually it's fine. Now, you may have some people pushing back because, like I said, you're brand new. They don't know you from who's who, and they're not sure how you really work. Right? They don't know if it's some type of scam or nothing. So you have to kind of have that in the back of your mind, but reassuring them that, hey, this is real. Here's the contract. I'm sending you the service agreement. Read it over. Let me know if you have any questions. That's how you get them to, I guess, kind of trust you a little bit more. But you got to be confident. You can't be stuttering. You can't be like, and not know and not sure because you're nervous to ask for a net 30. Then it's going to look shady. Then you're going to look like a scam. And then you might lose out on a subcontractor. So don't do that. Remember, you have the contract in hand. You got it. You won it. You did it. So go into that meeting with your subcontractor when you're explaining this with confidence. Like, look, this is what it is. I'm seeing my service agreement. Here's the contract. We won. Congratulations. This is how you're going to get paid. And they can get paid any type of way, whether they want cash, credit cards, checks, crypto, I don't know, whatever. You pay them how they want to be paid, but you pay them how the government pays you. And if the government pays you in a net 30, you pay them in a net 30. If the government pays you in a net 15, you can still pay them in a net 30, but if you got the money, just pay them, right? And if the government pays you right up front, just pay them right up front. Why are you holding the money? I know that money be looking good in your account, though. I get it, but don't hold it. Give them their money, okay? Because you got your money, so give them their money, all right? Oh, my God, I cannot believe it. It's back. Want to know what I'm talking about? Guys, are you ready? Are you ready to submit? Guess what? The Watch Us Submit Dallas workshop is back. Yes, it is back. Come join me for 8 hours of total fun where we will be going step by step by step through the entire submitting process. And guess what, y'all? At the end of the workshop, someone's leaving with a submitted proposal. And guess who that person is? You. Everyone is guaranteed to leave with a submitted proposal. And guess what? You actually might win, like Akia did, in my last workshop. So if you are ready to stop playing around, stop making excuses, and ready to submit like a boss and have a boss help you submit, come to the workshop in Dallas. Go to the link in the bio, click on the link, and go get your tickets now. Now, going back to building that trust, being able to ask for a net 30 and not feeling like they're going to say no or feeling like you doing something wrong. It all goes back to when you are requesting a quote. Remember I told you guys, when you request a quote, you have to build a type of rapport with the subcontractor. So that's, connecting with them on some type of level where they feel comfortable with you. Maybe explaining how the process works if they ask you that, or if the conversation takes you there, right? You're building that rapport, you're building that trust, you're building that camaraderie when you're getting a quote. See, if you call in, get the quote, like just call, hey, I need a quote, get the quote, and then get off the phone, they don't know you now. So if you come back to them and be like, hey, we won, okay, I'm going to pay you in 30 days. They're going to be like, hold on, player. Like, I don't know. Like, I need to get paid up front. But if you built that rapport, if you developed that relationship in that short amount of time, you ain't got to be asking about their mom and their dad and all that other stuff unless it come up naturally, y'all. But when you build that rapport, when you build that with the subcontractor, it's so much easier to come back and let them know, hey, this is how the payment terms is going to work, okay? So remember, when you're getting the quote, don't just rush and get it like some people say to do. Don't do that, okay? Do it the way I do it and build the rapport. That way, when it comes to when you're winning, you can easily say, hey, net 30, this is going to work. And they're going to be like, okay, cool. Where do I sign, right? So let's talk about a few common mistakes to avoid. First and foremost, do not bring up a net 30 when you're asking for a quote. Why? You tell me why. Put in the comments. Why wouldn't I bring up a net 30 when I'm asking for a quote? You are not bringing that up because you haven't even won. Why are we talking about how I'm going to pay you and I ain't even won? I don't even know if I'm working with you. Your quote might not even be the lowest quote. So don't bring that up. That's a common mistake most people bring up because they're nervous to talk about it in the beginning. So they figure, let me just get it out the way. Now, sometimes subcontractors do be throwing y'all off for a loop. So they'll ask you. And I had a subcontractor ask me, well, how does the payment work? And guess what? I just told them. No nervousness about it. Oh, it works well. The government works on a net 30. They take 30 days to pay me after you submit an invoice. And then once I get the payment, you get paid. It's cool, easy, simple, right? So if they ask, tell them. Don't be shady. Don't be like, I can't talk about that right now because then you really going to look shady, right? But don't bring it up when you're asking for a quote. It's not necessary because you haven't even won the contract. When you're not sure and you're talking in circles and you're stuttering and you're like, don't sound like you know what you're talking about, that's a mistake to avoid. When you win the contract, remember, you have the contract. It's yours. So talk to them in confidence. Talk to them like you know what you're talking about, because you do. Okay? So don't talk in circles. Don't seem like you don't know what's going on. Don't say you'll get paid when I get paid. Now, I mean, although that is true, just say once the government deposits the funds in my account, then I will deposit the funds in your account. When you say you get paid when I get paid, it kind of sounds attitudinal, maybe. So don't do that. But once again, it is true, but let's keep it professional, right? You submit your invoice, I'll submit it to the government. Once they pay me, then I will submit the funds to you. Plain and simple. So don't go in saying you're going to get paid when I get paid. And then last mistake to avoid is don't assume they know what a net 30 is. Most companies do, because most big companies, even smaller companies, everybody kind of B2B work on net 30s. But don't assume they know. And don't not. So that means do. So make sure you mention how they will be getting paid once you win. Don't skip that part. Even though y'all nervous to talk about it, do not skip that part. They need to know that they're on a net 30. Otherwise, the communication is going to be real off. You don't want to do that to begin with, okay? So make sure they know that it's in a net 30. Make sure that they know it's in the service agreement. They can read all the terms in the agreement, okay? So those are the mistakes to avoid. But guys, let me tell you something. Asking for a net 30 is not scary. It's not hard. Okay, it may be nerve-wracking, especially if it's your first time doing it. And you may be wondering, well, are they really going to wait 30 days to actually get paid? Are they going to really be okay with that? And yes, the answer is yes. Okay, believe me, almost 20 contracts in, and I haven't been told no once, or had to come up out of pocket with money, but that's a different video, okay? So if you've enjoyed this video, I need you to do me a huge favor. Hit the subscribe button. Make sure you comment below. I believe in order to comment, you have to be a subscriber, so go ahead and comment below. How would you introduce a net 30 to a subcontractor? Are you comfortable with introducing a net 30 to a subcontractor? Put in the comments. Let me know, what questions do you have about asking about a net 30 to the subcontractor? I want to know it all so I can answer it for you, okay? Well, guys, that's all I have for you. So do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe, and comment below so that my video can get pushed out there, because I really feel like I have not seen this type of video out there. And I know this video is going to help someone. So if I've helped you out, go ahead and make a comment below. If you have questions, go ahead and make a comment below, and I'll get back to you on those questions, okay? Happy submitting, and I'll talk to you guys soon.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more tutorials.